Right now, the world may be watching one of the most dangerous geopolitical escalations in years. On February 28, 2026, joint strikes by United States and Israel targeted Iranian military and nuclear facilities, triggering retaliation from Iran across the Middle East. Missiles, drones, cyber attacks, and a growing regional crisis. Oil prices are already rising, and shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil routes on Earth, has been disrupted. But here is the bigger question. Is this war really just about nuclear weapons and security? Or are there deeper political and economic forces driving the conflict? To understand what's happening today, we need to look at history, resources, global power struggles, and some uncomfortable questions. The immediate cause of the war was a large military operation called Operation Lion's Roar. Hundreds of targets were hit across Iranian cities including Tehran, missile facilities, and military infrastructure. The stated objective from Washington and Tel Aviv was simple: stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons and dismantle its missile capabilities. But the conflict quickly spread. Iran launched missiles toward U.S. bases and allied countries in the region, including Kuwait, Bahrain, and others. Cyber warfare also began immediately, targeting energy companies, communication systems, and military networks. In other words, this is not just a local war anymore. It is becoming a regional power struggle. But why now? To understand Middle East conflicts, you cannot ignore one thing: oil. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz every day. If that route is disrupted, global energy markets panic, and that is exactly what is happening. The current war has already caused oil price spikes and fears of supply disruption. Control of energy routes has influenced wars in the region for decades. Many analysts point out that geopolitical competition in the Middle East often revolves around who controls energy supply routes to Europe and Asia. Which brings us to another example. Look at the war in Syria. At first, it was presented as a civil war, but over time it became a global proxy conflict involving Russia, United States, Iran, Turkey, and several regional powers. Why would so many countries involve themselves in one country? One theory discussed by geopolitical analysts involves energy pipelines. A proposed pipeline from Qatar to Europe could have competed with gas exports from Russia. Another proposed pipeline backed by Iran would have strengthened Iranian influence. Whether pipelines were the main cause or just one factor, the Syria war shows something important. Modern wars often involve economic competition hidden behind political narratives. Another key reason behind the conflict is the broader power struggle shaping the world. The rivalry between United States and rising powers like China is already changing global alliances. The Middle East plays a strategic role in this competition. Military bases, shipping lanes, and alliances with regional powers influence global power balance. Countries like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Iran sit at the center of the strategic map. When one country gains influence, others try to counter it. That is why the Middle East often becomes the front line of global geopolitics. Another topic circulating heavily online is the release of documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Some commentators claim geopolitical crises sometimes coincide with major scandals involving political elites. However, it's important to separate verified facts from speculation. The Epstein investigations revealed connections between powerful figures, but there is no verified evidence linking those files directly to the current war. Still, the timing of political scandals and international crises often fuels conspiracy theories and distrust toward governments. This dynamic plays a huge role in how modern conflicts are perceived by the public. One reason analysts are worried is the chain reaction effect. If this conflict expands, several countries could be drawn in. For example, Iran-aligned groups in Lebanon, U.S. military bases across the Gulf, Israeli cities under missile threat. History shows how regional conflicts can escalate quickly. In 1914, a single political assassination triggered World War I. No leader initially planned a global war, but alliances pulled countries into the conflict one by one. This is why analysts are watching the situation extremely closely. Right now, the war between United States, Israel, and Iran is still evolving. It involves military strikes, cyber warfare, energy markets, and global politics.